Guys, back with another round of Scrabble Go moves. We'll just hit on through these ones straight away. This is an end game that I don't think I can win. I was looking at it a little bit earlier, and I really couldn't find any actual good moves that I could think of, like any winning moves, definitely. So just to go over his tiles, this is what we're looking at. So he's got the D, I, N, the X, and the U, and so there's a lot of easy out spots. The X has multiple outs, so there's an XI here. He's got the I in his hand, so he can play XI under the Q and still score 20. Unless I was able to play a bonus on this move, which I don't think I can. Basically, I will lose this game. But what we're going to try and do is make him work for it at least. So yeah, just to recap, there's even this spot here that I hadn't noticed before, EX. So yeah, he's got some nice spots, and even looking at that, it's like, wow, he almost has like a 60-point play there with what he's got. He's just kind of blocked here. Like he could play Vita here with an I. Be amazing. As far as bonuses go with this rack, I really would have loved an A out in the open, but it didn't happen. The previous move I played off Scrawl, I was behind by a lot, and he also had an S up the top, so I couldn't do anything there. Not to worry. Moves that I had seen were things like Ensile. Knowing the N hook for Devon is obviously a big advantage here. And Ensile here is not bad. Like, it's a great score, and it goes out in 2. So basic principles are to maximize our to minimize our losing margin, or to maximize our winning margin. In the case where we were winning, we want to try and go out, and generally we want to go out in 2. And that's no different here. I just have to think about the moves that he can do, and I'm just making sure that he doesn't have any out in one spot. So what an out in one spot, it basically just means for his rack, he can play all of his tiles the next move. I can't see any. Having looked at it, I actually can't think of any moves using all of those letters. The X and the U are a little bit clunky in that things. It would be different if he had the L, for example. He could play Linux down here, Linux, and would go out. And if that was the case, I would then be looking at blocking his spot. As far as it goes, I don't think he's got an out in 1. What we're going to try and do is try and block his moves. Now you might ask, well, why? And this is playing up, but I think I know how to get out of it. You might ask, well, why wouldn't I play Ensile? And it scores great. What's wrong with that? Well, really, what it does, it just gives him this extra X spot. Now, in this game, it doesn't matter because the Scrabble Go doesn't care about how much you lose or win by. In a tournament game, though, I would want to very much be winning this or losing this by the small. I would like to have the upper hand. So, and it can win you games depending on what happens. So, what happens here is if I play the Ensile, he's going to play DUX right there, and then he's going to get 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. He's going to get 40 points over that, which pretty much negates the whole thing of me playing that. And getting that bug again, it's so frustrating. I thought I'd figured out a way. Maybe I can play INS. Okay, so if I play INS, then I'm stuck again because, well, where am I going to play this EEILE? On the board, there aren't very many places where I can actually play this. And what I would actually be looking to do is maybe try and get rid of one letter. And the reason is that if I do, I have this spot. Oh my gosh. I have this. this spot over here. So if I'd played that, I could play my LEI and somehow play my EINS here, and then I get the best of both worlds. So I'm gonna maybe what I'm gonna do is do a trick. So if he uses this spot, for example, maybe I can use it. That's my current thinking. As far as Ager goes, you know what? I wish I had a U and T so I could play in devout through this Devo. So the word I'm thinking of, I'll just pull up Zizavar so I can show you guys. I don't have the letters, so I'm just going to keep it on. There shouldn't be any anagrams of this anyway. So in devout would be able to be played through there, but I don't have the right letters. So I was looking at that as an outplay. It's like almost enveloped or develop, or I can't quite use this as a double-double, so that's a bit of a shame. But we'll go on. Well, I'm looking at same things with going through Ager. Look, the S and the E would work there if I wanted. I mean, it's almost tempting, isn't it? So I'll show you what I'm thinking, and let's see if this works now. Okay, so let's say I play eager here. Then next turn, now I know in isle is correct, but I could play something along the lines of, you know, what I was thinking before. So Linz, for example. Oh wait, doesn't take an S. That was stupid, wasn't it? But you can see where I'm just going to play one off, and then if he comes back, then I'm good. So we don't want to do that. And in fact, this version of Scrabble Go won't let you play a wrong word. So we'll... now the reason I keep opening that because these tiles tend to get stuck, and I don't actually know a good way to get it out. If you know a good way how to, when using Facebook Game Room, to unstick these tiles, I'm gonna stop putting them on the board. It's just annoying me, and especially would have worked, probably figured that out from the previous video. Other options that we have is to perhaps play N-isle or N-sile down here, and that would leave the X here. So I'd N-I-L-E. So if I look at that, let's say I play I-L-E, he can't play, he can play N-I-X because he's got the N, but he can't play the D-U-X. Now if I play something like this in N-isle, then he can't use this spot at all. So maybe that's a good move. Alternatively, so I'm actually starting to favour this move. We just have to make sure he can't use the E. So he has the D, I, N, U, and X. I don't know any words that can be used with the E there. He can't play a word like index because there's not enough space. He can play dex if he wanted to. Yeah, so I'm actually in favour of this move. He's got the Linux. He's probably going to play Linux, but then he's not scoring very much. So he actually scores less playing there than, say, up here where for his 14. So yeah, I can't think of it. I can't think of anything. Maybe you can see it. But I think we'll go with this. So now I just have to check one thing, and that one thing is, can I go out next turn? So the Q, I've got the QI there, but what happens if he blocks QI? What if he plays XI? Well, yes, I can go out next turn because I've got the L, I've got an S, and they're also separated on parts of the board, so he can't do some really funky move and take my spot. Aside from that, do I have any other spots for the U? You know, I would think about them during his time if this was a competitive game. I probably don't have many good spots actually other than that Q. So I'm interested to see what his reply will be. As you can see from that, the scores, even though I was 50 behind, the scores, if I was able to catch him with the X, I'd end up winning that. Right, I did see this one. I was looking at it at lunch this afternoon. I don't think there's any bonuses on this. The words that I could think of, however, were T-bowls through the B and stowable, but neither of those are playable on this rack. I might pull them up so that you can check how to spell them. So, and I thought the word low seat was good. However, it's not. I tried to put it down earlier and it wasn't. But I believe low, is it low set? Oh, and lowest. That would work. But those aren't really great options. I'd rather score maybe WO here, and the reason for that is LATES, brilliant leave. From here, I don't really think I can. I can't really see anything better than that. There might be something through the KL or NB that's hard to see. But for now, I think we're just going to go through that. Maybe there's a better play here that I can do, but this fulfills everything. It blocks the hottest spot on the board. It really balances my rack, and pretty much got a bonus there through an I, Fetialis, Filiates. But that's the best. That's probably the best option. Now I want to check. I've just played a word. I didn't know if there were any bonuses. There weren't any sevens. That's great. So I can hide it off screen. So what I like to do is I might hide it off screen. And what neat thing of Zizavo is I press enter, and then I can see. Oh gosh! Now I can see already that I missed a bonus. I don't know what the bonus is yet because I've hidden the things. But we can see B. There were 3 words with the B, so we had the stowable, we had T-bowls, and something else. And then we had something with a T. Now, there's nothing blocking the T from a move. So what do you think the one for the T is? I mean, low state, is that it? I actually don't know, and I don't know what the other B word is. I think I'm going to get a rude surprise, and it does actually start with the B, because I can just see it off in the screen. Let's have a look. Okay, well, that's disappointing. Now, I will say something about the probability. Waste lot. Okay, I definitely wasn't getting that. So these are just outside the probabilities of my study range, and these are the kind of moments you go, if only I'd studied just a little bit more, I would have gotten this instantly. So it's moments like these that should motivate you to study those more words, because you go, wow, I just had that. So yeah, disappointing that I stuffed that one up, but you know, this is practice. It's learning experience. I'm just checking if there were any other words for that. There was a K and the L. There's no K here, and there was 2 E's. There's not 2 E's there. So there's a bunch of mainly useless words. They're all 8s with an S. So we should know most of these. Probably the most interesting word there, apart from the waste lot, is laser wart. And the reason that's interesting, it's quite high probability. Let's say on the board a WO is there, but you know you don't really have anything you can play with your TAR. If you had that, this would be the rack you'd have, and you don't have anything. You go, well, all I need is WO to play through. Let's go on to the next game. Okay, I really wanted an A here because I know some of these words. So it's Melanix, Senenial, Seneam, and Mescaline. Unfortunately, this isn't going to happen. I like how the board is at the moment, and I'm actually curious. There's still quite a lot of tiles left. One of them is the blank, excuse me. One of them's the blank. Not many vowels, so we just got to be wary of that. I would love to play a bonus, but I don't know if I can. Can I play through onto this O and A? I've been looking at these 8s for the entire game and have not been able to find one. And I did miss one with 3 in it, so that was a bit annoying. There were 3 bonuses at one point that I could play through here, and I didn't see it. Can I play a miss word? what I actually want to. I don't want to play a misword because I want the S to be an easy spot here. So monocles would be good actually. That would be fun. You know what? I wonder if it's that. Just trying to get rid of this bug again. Not happening. There we go. Okay. So there's some really interesting looking racks here, or spots, and it's kind of outside like 99.99% of people's range to be able to find them. So don't beat yourself up if you don't. These kind of things are very rare to see, let alone play. It's not working for me. It's not working for me. Maybe I should play the C here. Now, the reason I want to play the C there is it opens up this S spot. I think that's probably best. There's an S2. There's only one S, is it? There's only one other S left, so I'm in a good spot there. I think I'm going to regret this move in that I'll definitely have something playable and I just can't see it. Something that I could do... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to play that. I'm going to play climb here. That's much better. And I wish that would be a word, but it's not. Yeah, 39 points. So compare this to, what was it? 14 points here. This is 25 points, man. And it's a nice setup, but man, this just blows the other one out of the water. Now, you would have noticed that I said to watch my vowels, and I'm getting punished in that. I'm getting punished in that arena. However, it was just too tempting. Sort of trying to seal the win, trying to get out of his reach. Let's go on to this one. All right. Don't have a very good rack. Love to use my W here with an A. Let's just check if this is realistic. So, like, we can go, oh, I wish I picked an O, I wish I picked an A. But if there's no O's or A's left, or no E's, then, you know, you're sort of going crazy. Now, it's easy with using the Scrabble Go app to know where your tiles are, but it's a huge thing in competitive play, is that you need to do your own tracking. There's no computer to do it for you. And it's probably one of the most critical skills that people, even very, very high-ranked players, are not good at. And if you had been watching my earlier videos before I became Australian champ, you would have heard me mention plenty of times that I wasn't that good at it. However, practice makes perfect. What do I want? I want to get rid of WI or the MI, I guess I could do. I'm looking at this spot, not happening. So there's a lot of juicy spots on this board for the W, not so much for the M. Play under here. Something-ism, maybe an ISM. Whew. An IC word. Worm, almost a wormhole. So if this was an O, I would have a bonus. I will show you the bonus. So WOMILS. I'll just set that to pattern, just so you know I'm not cheating. And there you go. So this is a very closed off board, so I'm quite happy just to slow play it out. But what am I going to do? WLI is my worst tiles. So I'm 100 points ahead. It's pretty close. It would take like a miracle play here, And you know what? That's probably the best play I can do right now, is to basically just block the last remaining spot for my opponent. Seems mean, but it's the correct move. The question then is, well, how do I even do that? Because I don't have many sort of good tiles that go there. I kind of want to keep my M. How do I do this? So the D is the only spot where a bonus is likely, considering what my opponent just played and what's in the bag. So, or what's unseen. So the Q, she could have picked the Q, but there's N's, there's an R, S, T, and she got rid of a T. Okay, so that's a little bit puzzling to me. She's gone and played the last T, and if you're trying to catch up, if you're behind like that with your opponent, you really want to give yourself every single chance you possibly can. That being said, I'm now looking if maybe Whis is not a terrible move. It just doesn't score enough. It just doesn't score enough. Can I play anything through here? Am I going to be able to use? Nope. I think it must be that zoom in. You know what? I'm going to turn that zoom in feature off. Let's turn that off, and let's see. I think maybe that will solve my bug. Okay. Right. Iwi. Iwi is okay. I don't want to get rid of... I actually want to keep this W. Let's just have a look. So we always try to get rid of those heavy tiles most of the time. However, we're running out of heavy tiles as well. So scoring going forward is going to be quite slow, shall we say? Minnow. Fair something. So what I'm trying to do now is just think of plays that can be played from the FAW to block. And basically what I do is I assume my opponent can play a bonus into this D lane. So now I have to, because it's the only spot left, so I just got to think of moves that will block. Can do something tricky. Does she have a blank? There are 2 blanks. Okay, so I definitely have to block this spot. Okay, so this makes sense. This tells me it's probably the only thing that you'd be doing this with, getting rid of a T when it's the only T left, is that she has both blanks, so I definitely need to block as fast as possible. Now, okay, now you might... now I will address something. You might be wondering, well, why don't you just block the D here? Doesn't that block? Well, it doesn't really, because if I make any plays in this line, say Durl is playable. It's playable. If I do this, I then open up the next line, and not only that, like Durl here would be horrible because this spot, there's an open Q on the thing. So the Q and a U, and so immediately I just gave my opponent 70 points. I don't want to do that. Mirror. Don't like it, but it might work. Alright. In other games, I might, in slightly different situations, I might look at playing onto this OW if I could. Also, this isn't a block in my books, because even though it sort of limits the amount of plays that my opponent can make, it doesn't truly block them. Alright, I think I have to play mill here. I can't play mill. Play mirror. Just want to check something. How many R's are left? 2 R's, so I've got a fair chance to pick them. I don't like this play because it's still open. However, no, actually I can't play this. And it almost made a very rookie error. You can stop the video now to think about why is Mir playing here terrible. And the reason is that Mir takes hooks on the front of it. specifically the A and the E. And what are left? 2 A's and an E, and the blanks. So now I have even less chance of playing stuff. So I think maybe it pains me to do it. I can't even play it. I cannot even play it. I thought smow was maybe one of the correct words. It's not. Slow, however, is. I think we're going to have to play slow. There's no H. Go back. We see no H. SH would be the only reason I shouldn't play this. This is fine. Okay. Given the lack of vowels, it seems completely counterintuitive. What my opponent will do next turn is more than likely try to, open up this spot. I've got blocky tiles, so yeah, I might do that. You can tell I don't like doing this. I'm just trying to look for better solutions, I guess. There's not it's almost limerick, isn't it? There's not like this weird spelling of lyric. No, because lyric by itself is no hooks. I can't play iwi anywhere. Bookshar. Wow, what an amazing word. Yeah, okay. Oh. Alright, I'm doing it. Oh, yep, I'm doing it. Okay. Alright, I don't know who this is, but they've changed it. Cool. Collins Digital is okay. Alright. Okay. Hello if you're watching, by the way. Jamie. Heroing, is that good? Something ending in ogen, maybe? Whoring? No, that can't be right. Just making things up now. Reshoeing. Ochering, I think is good. Ochering. Yes, it's got to be good, right? Okay. Now I've got to think if this is the best move. Okay, reasons not to like Oshering is I think it takes a few things on the front, namely the T. And we can have a look at the hooks in a minute. Do I have Heroing, for example? Just looking at, do I have any other options on the board? Are there any hooks for CAW, for example? So the G, E, I'm just going through these, blah, blah, blah. I can't see, I don't know any hooks there. So now, Heron So, no, I'm thinking of nowhere's Heron So. I don't think there's anything through the W. Almost like ingrowth. If I had a T, I have a word through the W, ingrowth. I'm just thinking about, do I have any anything else to that C, sorry, or that A, even that A. Can't think of anything through the A. Through the C. Yep, let's do that one. If there's a better play, well, is that better? That's not correct, I think. Yeah, okay. Ochre ring. Let's just submit it, and while it's counting up, I think it's just maybe I was overestimating the number of tiles, but Oshering, it is just a T, okay, and anagram of Oshering, that was it. No, let me just set it to anagram. Okay. So the solution there was to play Cohering, but I prefer Oshering, even though Oshering gives this horrible hook. My opponent does have to know it, by the way. Even though you've got this hook, and but Cohering would have given this like really lovely spot. So if he's got IN and ING, he's got like an easy bonuses. Ochering, as you can see, doesn't take any S's. But that shouldn't matter anyway because there's score there. In light of words that I could have played, there's a 7, can't. Thongia would have been good. Oh, and we'll go through ingrowth. So ingrowth is, oops, I've mistyped it there. Ingrowth was the word I was talking about earlier, and a whole bunch of easy bonuses. Heroing sounds okay. It's not okay. Did it make anything with the with a black? Well, what else did it make? So there was, yeah, we got with the C. There's some T, so thongia, throwing, othering, hovering, homering, and rehoming, and so all kind of common. These are all fairly common words, and that's to be expected because they're all common letters. That's usually the rule. So yeah, well, we'll just end the video there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.